Oh yeah, what is going on? What is going on? Welcome to the KillJoy Jake show thing, whatever the hell you want to call this. Welcome, one and all. I am joined today with an absolutely wonderful and super special guest. ILIKESCARY. What is up? What is up? What is up?
Man, happy to be here, man. Talk some more. I'm ready.
Hell yeah, man. We have a lot to talk about. It's been an absolutely insane week. But first, I'm going to say hi to just a few people in the chat real quick. We got Tori here. What is up? What's up? First in the chat, Tori. Welcome. We got Adam Jeffrey here. What is up? What's up? Coop de Oof talking about Five Nights at Freddy's Pizza. You hear about that?
What the hell?
There's a rumor that they're gonna actually have like a Freddy Fazbear pizza chain or something. Like
What?
really, yeah. How strange is that?
Yeah, that is crazy, man.
I was just reading about that. It's not necessarily brings it up.
That is crazy, man.
Oh yeah. What's up, Denisha? What's up? What's up, Dave? Yay! Yeah, let's go. Angie's here. What's up? What's up? Jason is here. What's up, party people? Let's talk about eating rats.
Eating rats. What is going on, man?
Got Kay here as well. What's up? What's up? Welcome.
Yeah.
Kyle, welcome to the stream, everybody. If you're just coming in, we're gonna talk about Scream 6 drama, rumors. They're filming now and shit, and then we also want to talk a little bit about Nope, a little bit about Halloween Ends. There's just so much to talk about.
Yeah, it is, man.
But I know you just brought up the Nope trailer,
Mhm.
my dude. You want to talk a little bit about that? How do you feel about that?
Oh yeah. Man, it's definitely what I thought it was going to be, because the first few trailers was kind of like spotty. It was everywhere for real, but this one kind of shows you the plot, and we find out with like Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya that they're actually siblings. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of thought they kind of dated. That's just my mind. I don't know, but they just their dad was Keith David, and we get more into the plot, and I'm all for it. It kind of makes me want to see it even more now after the final trailer. So, man, I'm ready for it.
It was so vague in that first trailer. You're right. Like I had those vibes too. I'm like, oh, okay. Like maybe they're dating. They're like a couple. They live here, but no, it's like totally different situation. I think I'd even said that in a video before. I'm like, Daniel Kaluuya kind of looks like the bored husband when they're at that like photo shoot or whatever. He's just like, oh, okay, let's get this over with and then go home. Like that's kind of the vibe I got from it. But no, I guess they're brother and sister. I loved that scene in the trailer, by the way, where they're smacking their hands and they're just like getting all excited.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know. That was just like really cool character moment, right?
Yeah, I agree, man. That was a nice scene.
Oh yeah, no. So really, really exciting stuff today. Nope wise.
Yeah,
Nope trailer
man, I'm
stuff.
excited.
What's up? Vampira's coughing. Yo, what's up, homies? Just in time. Feeling sick today, but happy y'all are live now to make me better. Good. I hope we can help with that a little bit. Breadcrumbs is here. What's up? Rats. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? That one's for you, Danny. Zoe Crawford is also here, and we also got Necessary Distraction. Man. What's up? What's up? Sup? And then Rodrigo asks, do we have any predictions? Any predictions for Nope, real quick?
My predictions for Nope is, I feel that, so I heard, it's not a prediction, it's kind of like something that I've heard, but I'm like all for it because it would make me go like, but it is Keke Palmer basically being the villain, or having like basically if you hear Daniel Kaluuya, I want to say yes, Keke Palmer's talking to her. He was like, do you believe in bad miracles? And I'm starting to get this vibe that Keke Palmer is growing up, like, I don't know, she's going crazy with filming a movie or something. She goes overboard to the point that she actually probably sees something strange in the sky after she loses her dad, because Daniel Kaluuya actually seen his dad die. So maybe he explains to her, like, it was a UFO. I seen it. I swear I seen it. And she's like, man, like, what if we record it and put it in our movie? And she does some wild stuff and she gets the bad miracle. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? She's the cause of going overboard. So
I really like the idea of like, okay, yeah, they're making like they're gonna make an alien movie and they're gonna use authentic UFO footage. That's a really cool. Oh, I really like that. That would be fucking sick. Because I couldn't tell if like that was like what their ultimate goal was. They talk a little bit about like, oh, we got to get authentic UFO footage. You know what I mean? So like, what are they talking? I love that. I think that's sick. One of the coolest things we got from this trailer, and Jason, I'm gonna get to your super chat in a minute. Thank you so much. That I just want to throw in there is also we have Steven Yeun's character. We see he's running like a whole carnival or something in the middle of the desert. It's not just like a rodeo show. There's so much more to it than just that, which is really exciting, really, really cool stuff. Jason with a super chat, though. Thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate that. Sid, don't blame the KillJoy Jake merch store. The KillJoy Jake merch store don't create shirts. The KillJoy Jake merch store makes shirts more creative. I like that.
That is cool, man.
Jason's always out here repping my merch, and I appreciate that so much, my dude. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the shameless plug. I didn't even have to do it myself. So,
Man.
But he brings up a good point though about Scream. So this is what the stream is titled. Anyways, we should probably talk about this a little bit. How do you feel about the Nev? I haven't talked to you so far about the Nev Campbell news. How does this make you feel? I'm curious on your thoughts.
Some people might hate me for it, but some people might agree. But I kind of feel like, yes, I am pissed that we won't have Sidney Prescott. But you guys, we got to kind of admit, like her and Jamie Lee Curtis, it's kind of becoming their time. Like eventually they will have to stop. They're getting old. But I feel like I love Jenna Ortega, the character of Sam. I love them all. They're just basically a breath of fresh air with Scream. They're doing a great job. But it's like, I would feel better about the situation if they gave us some type of closure with the Sidney Prescott character. It's almost like, don't pull a Halloween 4 on us. Please don't just write her off, because you guys are going to have some explaining to do when you see Courtney Cox on the big screen, but no Nev. It's going to kind of like, what could you possibly say about Sidney not being in Scream? But I definitely feel with Jenna Ortega, she's almost like the Allison of this. For some reason, I get the feeling she's like an Andy Matichik, but I definitely feel if you polish her up a little bit, even though she's an awesome actress, polish her up a little bit, and I think we're good. I think we're good, man. We're going to get a good Scream movie. Not the best, not what we're used to, but we will get one that gets us by as horror fans. That's how I feel.
I hope it's something. I hope they take this not so great news and turn it into something positive. I mean, I think it's going to be weird to have a Scream film without Nev Campbell for sure. Like it's going to be odd, and it's definitely. I even talked about this in my video. It might really hurt the franchise. It might really hurt this movie. It might not do well at the box office because we don't have Nev on board, not really supporting the film and all that. So what does that what does that do to this movie? Does this take it in a whole new direction? Does it have to? Is it forced to try to come up with a brand new type of story, a brand new kind of mystery, or are they just going to rely on bringing other legacy characters into this film to sell it? It's something I'm worried about. I hope that's not the case. I hope that now you have this not so great situation going on. Let's really hope that they've written some kind of really compelling story that's good. That's like people are like, oh, this is brand new. This is a whole new take on Scream. That's really cool. I hope they go that route. Otherwise, I'm gonna be kind of like, oh man, this might be a bad opportunity for them. This big old mistake.
I feel like, to be honest, if we're being honest, I'm always brutally honest. I feel that if we want to be honest, you guys, along the journey of Scream, she kind of stepped out through these Screams. Of course, she's the face of Scream, or at least she was. But if we see like her just elevating to the other Scream, she kind of was always just kind of dropping, like, if that makes sense. She was not involved as much as Sidney Prescott. She had just go in, get her job done, and and peace out. It wasn't like, I can't explain, like Scream 1 and 2, that's Sidney Prescott right there. That's full blown coming at you. But like Scream 3 and 4. So I feel like we should already kind of be comfortable seeing her kind of. But I feel like the only reason we're going like crazy about it is because this is the reboot. This is the comeback. So when you're bringing a comeback from history, it's like you have to have an original character in there, and you have to have Sidney Prescott, even if it's a couple cameos or something. But like you said, man, I feel like Sydney plays a big part in Scream. So it's not going to be the movie in general. It's going to be us as fans. Because believe it or not, some people just watch Scream for the characters, not just for the storyline. People want to see Sydney on the big screen because that's what they're used to. So, you know what I mean, man? Like,
Yeah, it's no, I agree. I agree. I think a lot of people are just coming to these movies for the nostalgia, but like to me, how I see it is it's like if we just have a film that's just relying on the nostalgia to bring people in, are they going to even care to write a good story? Is this going to be something I'll watch in 5 years? Like I think there's a lot of elements of Scream 5 to where it has a lot of rewatchability. There's so many little hidden Easter eggs in the background. The story's actually not too bad. I really just enjoyed the film in general, just as a middle of the road slasher. I think it's good. I think it's a good film. I could watch it just on its own, like even if I hadn't seen any of the other Scream films. So I'm just hoping that you can still rely on the story and it's still more than just like, oh hey, nostalgia of some movie I watched when I was younger. It needs to be, at this point, we need to see more than that. And if they were just relying on that and you don't have Sidney Prescott, it's gonna fail, I think. I really hope that's not the case. I hope they've given us more than just, oh hey, cool characters from my youth, you know, so, something else than that. It's got to bring people to movies, I think.
Like to just touch on touch on Scream. I said with Scream, it has to be the Halloween floor of the franchise. What I mean by that is we didn't have a Scream Queen in Halloween 4. It was no Laurie Strode. We actually got introduced to new characters to, for us to grow on, for them to grow on us, and like Danielle Harris and Rachel. We had one legacy character, Donald Pleasance, and it was just it was almost how Scream is now, going into Scream 6. Halloween 4, I don't know about you guys, I love Halloween 4. Only thing I do
too.
Yeah, is the ending with Jamie Lloyd becomes Maya or whatever. That's the only thing. But I feel that it could possibly be a good film if it's kind of like the Halloween 4 type of thing. You got to get these characters to the point like you love them. How people love Danielle Harris now. People actually like that series with Halloween 4 and stuff like that. So I feel like Scream 6, they just have to go right about it. Don't OD on like certain things you don't even have to touch. Just be. I got faith in Radio Silence. I feel like they can do it. They seen what they did wrong in Scream 5. All you guys got to do is fix it and just, make this your movie. Don't, you know what I'm saying? Make it your movie, but also pay respect to the legends and, Wes Craven. But just make it your movie. I think they'd be good, man. I think they would.
Yeah. And as long as they do that, if it's a good movie, at the end of the day, it's a good movie. It doesn't matter who's a part of the cast, doesn't matter which characters they bring back. If you've written a good film, people will recognize that. It doesn't matter if people are super upset about everything that's going on now or not. Like if it comes out in March and it's like, it's super good, it's just like, oh my God, it's a really well written slasher. People will love it. And I think these like you were saying, man, I feel like these characters aren't as bad as people say, you know what I mean? Like these, I actually really like Jenna Ortega, Melissa Barrera, Jasmine Savoy Brown, Mason Gooding, couldn't remember his name for a second there, but like I love all, like they're all great. They're all great characters, I think. And the fact that they kept them all alive, they knew that they were going to be fan favorite characters. I love them. I think they can really hold a movie themselves. Well, I guess we're going to see in March though. That is. Jason has another super chat. Thank you so much, Jason. I greatly appreciate it, dude. Man. I have come to the KillJoy Jake merch store to chew bubble gum and buy some merch, and I'm all out of bubble gum. And he agrees with you, man. There you go.
Man, appreciate it, Jason, man.
Jason, thank you so much for the super chats, my dude. And once again, as Jason says, go check out the merch store. Why not? Hey, there's a little cute little ghost face shirt in there too. It's a Ghost Jake shirt. So there you go.
Man.
But yeah, it sucks that we don't have. I think it's gonna be weird to not have her in the film for sure. But so you do like these new characters though that are coming back. For this film, because I feel like a lot of people it's polarizing. Some people love the new characters, some people don't.
I like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, I like Jenna Ortega. She's number one. I like Sam. I like Mindy, but I'm not that big of don't hate me, man. I'm not that big of a fan of Chad, man. He's cool. He's cool, but I hope that he doesn't bring the cringiness, if that makes sense. Like, don't bring the cringiness. But Jenna Ortega, man, I feel that she's going to put this on her back. This is her. This is her. I feel like this is her moment. Um, I'm not going to say she's going to just take Nev's spot. No. We have Kirby also, but I feel that she can do good. She can do good. She just have to just get polished up a little bit. Kirby can step in, and sometimes I feel, man, it's like you said, it's kind of like I'm on both sides because our brain and our eyes are so used to seeing Sydney. When we know we're watching a Scream movie, we're gonna be looking for like where, and we don't get that. And we eventually we're gonna see the credits come down the screen, and now we have completed a Scream movie with no Sidney Prescott. So it's like what? It can make or break, man. Make or break.
It's a really important film. I think it's a really important movie because if you can establish a really good film without Sidney, that says a lot. That says a lot about these filmmakers who are really given a challenge now without Neve Campbell. Because I think even if the movie, like let's say Neve Campbell was in it and it sucked, I guarantee you it would still make more money than Scream 5. Like I'd bet any money on that. Like that even if it sucked, Neve Campbell's in it. It would make a shit ton of money. My thing now is they have a challenge as filmmakers to build up these characters who were somewhat underdeveloped, I think, in the last film. But like you said, man, Jenna Ortega was one of the best characters, and she did not have that much screen time, and she was bedridden for a lot of the movie. So now you have an opportunity with 6 to have this character shine, this Scream Queen who has been in like every horror movie in the past like 4 months, pretty much, which is awesome. And she's great. She's going to be in Wednesday. My God. I love Jenna Ortega. She's amazing. Yeah. So I think she's going to kill it in this next film. They have a lot of opportunities to really expand their horizons, I think.
Yeah. Another thing I've been talking with Scream, I said, okay, so they're obviously taking a risk. Radio Silence taking that risk that people have been asking for. Just like when I had you on my channel, I was telling you that I'm tired of Scream being repetitive. You have to be different with this film because eventually it's going to be the same stuff. So I feel, man, Radio Silence, they take this leap of faith, and it's an awesome Scream movie. We love it. We love the new feel, right? And it's almost like we actually kind of forget that Neve wasn't in the movie. It can go this way also, but we still remember that she got took out. But it's so good. It's like, it actually was good without Neve. So now when Scream 7 comes in the works, we won't have to worry about, bring Sidney. I mean, it'll probably be a group of people, bring Sidney Prescott back. But it's going to be a huger group that's like, they actually did good with Scream 6 without her. So it's going to kind of be like, it's going to kind of hurt Sidney Prescott. But if it's a terrible film, it's like, man, we knew it. We lost Neve. So it's like, man, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
I've heard a few people say that, and we're going to get to some super chats in a second here. But I feel like, I don't know if it would hurt Neve if the movie like was still good. Like if it was still good, I feel like what that shows is there's so many other things about the Scream franchise that there is to love. Like Neve Campbell's amazing. Sidney Prescott is one of the best final girls, like if not the best final girl ever. And I think that if they make a movie that's still awesome and it goes back into the roots of what made Scream so like amazing and so relatable right from the get-go. It comments on something in the horror scene again, and it's like, it's really cool, and it's just like, oh yeah, this is great, this is common, this is something we're all thinking. Then that really shows the strength of this franchise, which there's a lot of strengths. It's not just the legacy characters that are so great. There's a list of reasons why this franchise is so big, so popular, and so beloved.
Yeah,
but getting to getting to some of this though, and thank you for watching the Final Nope trailer video. I appreciate that, and you liked the theory. Thank you so much, Playboy Legion, for the super chat. I appreciate that. We're gonna get in some more Nope talk in a second here because I could talk about that movie all day. I'm so excited. Yes. We're only a month away too, man. Like pretty much like a month and a half or so.
Yes.
So
I'm excited.
And I was home, bored, watching television. The Exorcist was on, and it got me thinking of the KillJoy Jake merch store.
Just bring back, dude. Man.
Jason's relentless. I love it. and bring back Stu. Are you on the Stu train? I like Scary. How do you feel about that?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of was hanging off in the beginning, but I'm kind of fully on now that Neve is like pulled out, because it kind of like just points at just a big reunion almost. Like if you bring Neve back, it only makes sense to bring Stu back. That's why, like, that's what made me be on it more. Like, yeah, man, because if you bring both legacy characters back and then just create this story of continuance, or maybe even at the end of Scream 6, we see something leading up to showing that Stu's still out there, but somehow it gets back to Sydney. And it's like, we have to put this, I don't know how they can do that, because the only thing I say about bringing Stu back, it will be so hard to explain it and make sense. I'm telling you, because I know people are saying, man, it's a TV. It's an older TV gets dropped on his head. But it's like, man, bro, you let a TV drop on your head from, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you tell me, if you don't die, let me know. You know what I'm saying? But it is a film. But I'm just saying, man. That's
one of us is gonna just have to do it. I'm just gonna have to drop a '90s TV on my head just to just to see if I live or not.
Yeah.
I do agree with you, though, that I feel like if Nev's not in this next movie, let's say Radio Silence gets a 7 and then like Stu comes back as well, that would be insane. I mean, that would be pretty insane. That would be pretty exciting for people, I think, just to have like all those legacy characters come back. There's also been some talks about like Skeet Ulrich maybe not coming back for the next one. I gotta talk a little bit about that too sometime. But one more super chat. Denisha, thank you so much for a $5 super chat. We appreciate that. Hey, Jake, working hard on Red Right Hand. We need an update. We need an update on the film. Well, yeah, I can tell you this. I can tell you this about Red Right Hand because I can't say much. I have enough pictures on my phone to spoil the whole thing for you at this point. We're about halfway. We're about halfway filming it, halfway done, and I'm super excited, man. We'll probably have the whole thing filmed and like completely filmed by the end of the month, and we'll start editing. We'll probably have a full final cut of it in September, is what we're thinking.
What?
So.
Oh yeah, that is insane.
We're going nuts. Like, it's been insane. So I'm very excited for you guys to all see it. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil nothing, but I am excited.
Definitely, man. I know it's gonna be nice, man, for sure.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And by the way, one more thing. I Like Scary has an awesome channel. If you guys have not seen it, you guys should go subscribe. Just saying. Where are you at now? Because last time I went to your page, you were at like 2,000 subscribers.
I'm at like 2,000. One moment, let me check on my iPad. I'm at almost 2,300. I want to say. I'm close to 2,300. Let me see, man. I'm actually at 2,267, you guys. So.
Well, there you go. 33 more subscribers. He's there. So help the man out. There you go.
Definitely, man. I appreciate it, man.
Of course. Hell yeah. But getting back to the Scream 6 talk, because it's hot. It's crazy. Shit is going on left to right.
Definitely, man.
I don't know what the hell I'm saying, but yeah, no. We were talking a little bit about Gale Weathers also being in this film without Sidney Prescott. Do you think that's going to be strange to have just her and not Nev? Is that going to maybe bring some problems about? Maybe
that is the strangest thing right now that's on my mind, to be honest. Seeing Courtney, I'm not going to say that Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell comes as a package. I'm not going to say that. But they kind of do, man. Like, they back each other up in the greatest moments. So it's like, what is going to happen with Gale, man? Now she doesn't have Sydney. She doesn't even have Dewey. So it's like, it'll probably be making more sense if Dewey could come around. So now you guys took Dewey and you took Neve. Now you left out of all the characters. I feel like if any character should have been left by herself with two people taken away from them, it's Sydney. She can do it. It will look right on her. It's not going to look right on Courtney Cox being their only legendary character. I mean, she has Kirby, but Kirby's not, she's not that. So that's how I feel about it.
It's going to be strange to focus on maybe their relationship. Cause they didn't fuck. Did they even have a conversation in 4? Maybe what I mean? Yeah. What is there to expand upon there? I don't know. I agree with you, man. I would almost rather have a movie that focuses just on Sydney or like Courtney and Dewey. You know what I mean? Like Gale and Dewey. That would almost work a little better. This is just going to be kind of strange. I hope it doesn't feel forced with like, oh, hey, we're banded together now to go against the Ghostface killer. Although I guess we barely even had a conversation with each other. You know what I mean? Like, I hope it's a little, I hope it doesn't feel forced. It's like, it's just a natural way to bring her in, as well as just Gale Weathers. I don't know, man. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's strange.
So the thing, number one with me, what I feel that's going to hit the film hard is the coming to explaining everything, man, because it's like, how are you going to explain a lot of this? Because it's like you said, Gale and Kirby, did they even talk in Scream 4? So it's like, are you going to reunite? Like, oh, I've heard about you, Gale Weathers. Like, that's cringy. Don't do that. Leave it alone. You know what I'm saying? Almost make it natural. Like, maybe just make something, like, say if something just happens, some traumatic stuff happens, and it brings them together, and it's kind of natural, that's different. But don't make it kind of, I don't know, man. I feel almost like, I'm going to be honest, I love Courtney Cox, but she's not my favorite in the Scream franchise. But I feel kind of, man, how do you feel, Jake, about this? I got a question for you. I had asked a few people about this. Would you rather have Gale die or Dewey? Do you feel that, the story would change more? Have a Dewey and Nev duo? I feel that would have been perfect, like a Dewey and Nev type of duo.
I will say this. I don't know how I feel about that, because that's so tough about which one I would rather have be alive right now. But I will say I do think that a Dewey and Sydney movie would work better than a 100% over a Gale and Kirby movie. Like, any day of the week, I would say I think that would work a lot better. There's a lot of things about their relationship that feels lost in some of the later movies, like especially between Sydney and Dewey, that I feel like was really strong in those first couple of movies, like the first 3 movies. You saw their relationship, I feel, written really well. Like, it was almost like an older brother to a younger sister. You know what I mean? That's almost how it feels at some points. And I feel like there's elements of that are lost in some of the later sequels. And I would have loved to have had a 6th film where maybe Gale is, like, theoretically, let's say like Gale had died in 5. That's what brings Dewey and Sydney together. Yeah. And then in 6, it's like, it's all about those two trying to stop Ghostface. I feel like, that might have been a better situation. I totally see where you're coming from with that. Dewey dying, though, I feel is just for the plot to work in 5, which, man, I hope it amounts to a little more than just, hey, we had to bring the legacy characters back for 5. I hope it affects something in the future, like with this next movie. I hope it's not just, we don't even talk about Dewey now moving forward, like what has happened to, like, sure, Randy got a mention in the last film. That was cool. But I hope that they do a little more with that, and it actually affects the plot just moving forward with the whole possible trilogy question mark.
I agree, man. I definitely agree with everything you just said. I would like you said, like how Scream 5, he died. You feel like that had to happen to keep the plot going. I definitely agree with that, because I feel like it's almost like they kind of almost had writer's block. It kind of seemed like they almost had like writer's block or something. They were like, man, it's that time. We have to kill off somebody legendary to get some emotions attached. They almost like I hope Scream does not pull a Halloween Kills. Man, what is going on? You put Marion Chambers, you put Tommy Doyle, and you Sheriff Bracken, and they just get killed off in the same film, though. At least save some for ends. You just killed them off like Michael just went crazy. Like, I don't know.
It's kind of starting to seem like they might go the Kills route, man. And it's like, I totally see what you're saying. They're bringing back all these characters. I bet we get more interesting surprises announced as the filming goes on. I hope they're not doing just doing like it's an aggressive ghost face and don't worry about the plot. There's going to be a lot of kills. You know what I mean? I think that was a really interesting experiment with the Halloween franchise, and I enjoy kills. I think it's fun. It's not the greatest Halloween movie ever. No one's saying that, but I enjoyed it. I still had a fun time with it. Scream doesn't need to do that. I don't think Scream. I've always felt Scream could be a little darker, but not like there's definitely a line to be crossed, that a line you could cross that you don't need to with Scream. Like, it doesn't need to get to the point where it's like, it's almost like mean, where it's like it's killing all the legacy characters, bringing back these beloved people just to rip them away from you. Scream doesn't need to do that. Scream doesn't need to get mean. It needs to just get a little more brutal with some of its kills. That's really the only big change I would make for it. Maybe change up the structure to a little bit, but besides that, it doesn't really need too much. It just needs a little extra seasoning on some of the kills, is how I feel.
Man, with Scream now, I'm starting to look deeper with Scream 6 now that everything just is going on. Man, I know it's saying that it could possibly take place like on a college campus, I want to say, or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm just tired of the same thing with Scream. I love it. It's one of my favorites. I just don't want to see, okay, she meets a boy in college. He's so sweet, and he turns out to be Ghostface. He grows obsession, and he decides to just kill off. Why can't we, come on, make a college professor be Ghostface? I mean, at this point, make the damn lunch lady be Ghostface. Knock me out, man. I want to be, you guys having, homework meetups on, as an example, like Zoom, we're having homework meetups with a lot of people are just talking about math or whatever. Maybe one of our friends, or they're killing on the webcam and they're saying, we're coming for you, or make it interesting. Make it to the point. It's like, who is Ghostface? I don't want it to be up another boyfriend, up another best friend, up another cousin. Like, come on,
somebody's
man.
Mother. Yeah. No, dude, you had me at Lunch Lady Ghostface. I'm gonna be honest, but
Lunch Lady Ghostface, because someone didn't have enough to pay for her lunch, so it was. I'm short at lunch. She takes off the hairnet, puts on. I don't know, man. Be there, please.
I want to. Oh my god! I want a whole monologue of a lunch lady just like going on about the kids. They stole they stole their lunches. Couldn't give me an extra 25 cents. They all must die. Like I want that so bad now. Oh my.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Jaguar Rose, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Yeah. Just want to say hello, Jake. Love the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a whole lot. Mohammed Nabil too. Thank you so much for the sticker. I'm assuming. Unfortunately I can never see them on StreamYard. That's what I don't like. I got to go to the stream and check it out. But I bet it's a cool sticker. Thank you so much. Appreciate that a whole lot. But yes, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm still thinking about the lunch lady stuff.
Me too. I was gonna bring that up, and I'm like, yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah. Like, damn. That is crazy, man. Just be different, man. I know, the cult of Ghostface. Maybe towards the end, show like, I guess a lot of people going live on Instagram. Like, it's a killing happening in this theater right now. And it's like people become obsessed all over the world, and it's like, what the? I don't know, man. Be there. I don't know. I don't know.
I like that. I like where you're going with that, honestly. Yeah, like everyone's live streaming themselves killing as ghost faces. It starts a whole like movement all over the world or something. Yeah. That's messed up. I like that.
Going live, man. Literally going live, killing people. It's like now we have like the whole world obsessed with Stab and want to be Ghostface. How will we take this down? I don't know, man.
That could be cool. I do want something else I've talked about is I almost want the motive to be something other than just like, oh, we have to kill the rest of the survivors of all the surviving characters of the Ghostface murders and all that. What do you think the motive's going to be in Scream 6? Is it going to be something different, or maybe like another revenge thing that like how they did in like 1 through 3? What do you think they're going to do here?
Man, at this point, I would hope they don't do please don't even try to dig in nothing legendary. Like, almost like, yeah, I had to do it because she's not in it. Don't even try to play with anything like that. At this point, you have to make something kind of gold that's attached to Jenna Ortega or Sam, or even, I don't know. I think Mindy's the killer. I don't know why. I think Mindy's the killer. I'm sticking to that.
You just got a feeling.
Yeah. I think Mindy's the killer, but maybe I'm wrong. I just feel that I don't know, man. Like, that's a good question. I don't know, man. I really don't, because it's like I'm tired of just but I don't know. I don't know, Jake. I really don't. That's how crazy Scream has become, and it's like it was so crazy. It had the perfect film. Scream is the perfect franchise to become modern day, man. It's no superpowers involved. It's just a person that's obsessed with something, or they just want to use this character to cover up and just kill, bro. And I just feel like you have the perfect story. Scream can be a female, a guy, anyone. You can really stretch with that. And I don't see why they limit themselves that much to the same old 1990s stories. For 2022. We have kids and new generation social media. You can really like blow our minds, man. You know, it can
I
be
think
that's
you
kind
made a really good point there. I think with the whole like this is it's such a broad concept
yeah,
for a movie,
yeah,
for a franchise. There's so
mhm,
much you can do with it than just like revenge stories or like something about like someone from the past coming back
yeah,
getting angry or trying to get revenge or
mhm,
something. I think you can do a lot more with this while still commenting on like the state of certain horror franchises, just the state of all these movies in
mhm,
general. We don't need a film that goes all the way back to the original again. At this point,
yeah,
I think we got to do something that carves a whole new path of future ghost faces, where
mhm,
it's not just someone's relative who's getting revenge for someone's death or whatever. I want to see something that we've never seen before
mhm,
again. Like in the last two movies, I feel like we had different motives than like Screams
mhm,
1 through 3 that were all kind of consistent. They all kind of worked with each other, which I think was cool.
yeah,
But now we got to do that again with something else, with some other kind of idea
mhm,
instead of just revenge plots. Give me something different. I'd
yeah,
say I don't want something that's necessarily just like revenge for Richie and Amber, because
uh,
I feel like if we have a motive where it's like, oh, you know, we also want new stab movies, you know
mhm,
what I mean? It's going to turn into, well, we're trying to avenge our friends, Richie
yeah,
and Amber, who started the Ghostface cult, you know, or
yeah,
something like that. That's just the same motive again. That you're just recycling it.
yeah,
I feel like it has to be something that doesn't have to do with social media, not a revenge, and nothing to do with the stab movies. It's got to be a brand new motive.
yeah,
Can they come up with something that's original, riveting,
yeah.
something that's interesting? How do you feel about that?
I agree with you, man. Like what you said, and another thing I want to throw in there, I feel with Scream 6, man. I know a lot of people are not fans of it, but man, the Scream TV show, I love how the pace was with those. I just love the story. It was, I think, freaking Ghostface turned out to be, of course, a boyfriend. But see, even in the damn TV show, but I like the fact that it was almost was she like a podcaster or something like that? I forgot her name, but she turned out to be a freaking Ghostface or whatever you want to call it. I forgot the name of the Ghostface from the TV show.
Brandon James.
Brandon James,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I kind of liked how that threw me. It kind of threw me off, but I still seen it coming. You know, she was kind of weird, almost like Mindy. But man, I feel like if Mindy's the killer, it will just blow my mind. Kind of if they explain some type of flashback, or if they even go back to Scream 5 and like just show us Mindy behind the scenes steps, like when you were looking at this crowd, where was Mindy? This when she was doing her dirt. And I even play with the fact, you know, we're here to have fun and speculate. We're horror fans, so it's like I even play with the fact that Randy and Mindy are related, right? And they're both obviously like obsessed with horror. So it's like, you know, Randy died just being with this Ghostface story with Sydney and, you know, Gail and everybody, Dewey. So it's kind of like, what if Mindy just was, you know, she wanted to meet her uncle. Her mom always told her, like, your uncle was just like you. You know, he was just like you. He loved her. I wish you could have met him. But this Ghostface mess is why he's not here. And it kind of made an anger growing in Mindy. Like, I wish I could have met, you know, Randy. And it kind of is to the point she's taking it out on the legendary characters. That's why in that hospital, maybe that wasn't Amber. Maybe it was Mindy. And that's why she said, you know, it's an honor. It's an honor to kill you because you guys play a big reason, I feel, on why my, you know, family member's not here or whatever. But you know, it's kind of like shaky, that theory. But I feel like that would be cool to just show something that deep. She loved Randy that much. She was willing to make their life hell and take from them. You know, she took
Yeah.
it away. I think that would just blow my mind. Like, what the fuck? And then Kirby's involved, and it's like, oh my god, I think that would be crazy. I'm just playing around, Jake, man.
I like I'm starting to come around to the idea of Mindy being Ghostface, because think about like, okay, let's say that happens in Scream 6. She's the killer, they take her out, whatever. You go back and you watch Scream 2022. Think about how different all those conversations are with Mindy. Think about like the conversation when they're at the Meeks house and she's accusing Sam of being the killer. It's like, oh shit, that wasn't just like a misfire. That was her trying to put the blame somewhere other than her. Like that's what she was, what was going on in her head. And then also the scene in the basement of Stu's house when she's talking to Amber, that changes that conversation entirely. So I kind of don't hate the idea. It's interesting because of the rewatchability that would give to both of the new movies.
Yeah.
It would just be complete. It would be like, oh, no way. You'd go back and
Yeah.
watch the other one. I don't know. I think that would be really cool.
I
I'm down for that.
I definitely think that was a great theory with Mandy. Even if you look back at the original, I want to say with Randy, he's like everybody's a suspect and everything. He's kind of accusing people like, are you the killer and stuff. That's kind of how she was. What if she was the opposite of Randy? Because Randy, obviously wasn't the killer, but what if she's the opposite? She just because she obviously knows the power of horror to make somebody feel kind of like, oh shit. So she's like putting stuff like, maybe you're the killer, you never know, prequels and all this crazy shit. But I just feel that she has the brains for it, bro. She knows the horror rules. So, I even played with a theory saying that because obviously, Amber, what if Stu adopted Amber, that's why it was the house. Maybe they don't show that. And we never saw Amber's parents. And we see in Scream 6, someone comes up to the freaking scene. It was like, yeah, it's your daughter. Someone takes a hood off, and it's fucking Stu Mom. I don't know, man. Scream is Scream, man. Scream is Scream.
If it gets nuttier, man, I'm down for that. I mean, this is kind of the point to do that. You're on the 6th film of your movie franchise. If it gets a little crazier, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a little bit of little cheesy storytelling. It's fun. Yeah. It's fun. I kind of enjoy stuff like that in later sequels. So if they decide to go a little crazier with it and it gets a little almost a little more out there, I'm all right with that. Sure. You know what I mean? They look at fucking Friday Part 7, dude. They introduce Tina with the mind powers. She's basically Carrie. It's awesome. I love it. I'm like, this is actually a lot of fun. It's kind of the same thing as the past 6 movies, but it's taken in a different direction. So I'm okay with that personally if they decide to go a little crazier with it.
Man, it's at this point, man, like I said with Scream, it's either do something that's out of this world or it's going to be like, because it's almost like it's like Scream boxed themselves in. They did it to themselves because once you see something so much, you kind of expect it at this point. Because, like with Halloween, you can't modern day Halloween for real because it took place in 78. So it's like they try to throw fan service and stuff, for the fans and stuff. You can bring Myers in 2022, but it's kind of like we expect an old vibe from Halloween. You know what I'm saying? So with Screams, I kind of expect a new vibe because Scream always had that more up-to-date pace and with teens and stuff. Michael, Halloween always has had its own pace, but Scream, I feel they did it to themselves. They boxed themselves in this corner to the point now fans expect the same shit out of these films. So once you do change it, we're going to boo you. So it's like...
Yeah. Wow. That's one of the most intelligent things I've heard about Scream in a while because you're right. It made such a big mark from being something so different and so it's so modern. Like the kids can relate to it instead of just the people who were growing up in the 80s watching slashers. It's like, oh, this is what the kids of the people from the 80s were thinking about the slasher movies. They're like, oh, it's the same thing every single time. You know what I mean? Yeah. You kind of have to do that with new Scream installments. You have to relate to the younger audience. You have to give a message of something that's going on in the zeitgeist of people my age or younger. You know what I mean? Like 23 or younger, essentially. That's kind of what you have to do. And now wow, I couldn't agree more with that. You're boxing yourself in by trying to go back to the 90s feel because you can do that with Halloween, 100%. You can do that with every single, in 50 years from now, you can make a film that feels like the 1970s in a new Halloween flick, but you can't, I would argue it's totally different with Scream, which, wow, I couldn't agree more with that, honestly.
Definitely, that's why I say when people say, what do you want from Scream 6? I kind of just feel like, man, at this point, what can we get? What can we get with Scream 6? Because it's like, man, I just really feel that you guys are doing it to yourself at this point. Just be different is all I can say. And, just be different, man. Blow us away. That's all I can say, man.
I hope that's the case. I really hope it is. I hope it's something where it's like we've never seen this before, different style of murder, mystery, killers that were really unexpected. I hope we get something along those lines. But I will say something that I feel is going to be so different from anything else we're seeing anytime soon is Nope coming out at the end of July. I'm really excited for this film. The new trailer kind of gives us a little more of like what the tone is going to be of the film. Are you excited to how do you feel about Nope? Because I feel like with this new trailer, we get, like I was talking about earlier, we get these like really nice character moments. It feels almost kind of wholesome. Do you think this is going to be like a happier kind of like almost leaning towards horror comedy kind of movie, or what do you think is coming from the new Jordan Peele installment?
I feel like the answer is really right there when you said, Jordan Peele. If you go back and look at Get Out and Us, I just feel it's going to be that type of film. When you look at his films, Get Out and Us, it's a horror movie. It gives you the creeps. It makes you think, but it's not gory. It's not Friday the 13th. It's not Halloween. So, like, literally, when you just said Jordan Peele, that's the answer. It's going to be a Jordan Peele movie, man. It's going to have the creeps and have you thinking, like, what the hell? But it's still going to have parts where it's like, it doesn't feel like a horror movie, but it's a horror movie. So, that's how
Yeah, he has his own style. It's very specific. It's like you'll have like not the goriest thing going on, but it's the psychological terror that really scares you more than anything. And he really touches on things that are up to date, that are hot, like hot button issues. He's always got that. He's utilizing that tool for the horror, which is always really cool about his films. I'm really excited to see what he does with Aliens, which is pretty much confirmed of what's going on in this next film at this point. I'm really excited for it. I cannot wait. This new trailer gave us a whole lot to talk about, which something else I wanted to throw at you. How do you feel about Steven Yeun's like rodeo show thing going on? Because we find out he's like running this like carnival, this amusement park or something from what it looks like in some of those behind the insight, the first look or whatever. Do you think like that's going to be a big part of the movie? Is that going to be a big scene where maybe a whole bunch of people just get annihilated by the spaceship? What do you think about that?
Man, I actually feel that it's almost going to be, when I seen that, when I first seen it, I didn't know what the hell it was. But now I feel like it's almost like a promotion thing for an event, because we see these aliens hung up to obviously like a freaking concession stand or something. They're just hanging up for you to buy. So they've obviously seen the aliens for them to have to know how to make these things. So I feel that it's almost like a promotional event. Like maybe Keke Palmer has something going on with him. Like I'm telling you, aliens are coming down to planet Earth. Get the people ready. And I feel that looks like possibly the happiest moment besides the lady with the horse mouth. But I feel that that's going to be the scariest moment of that film for some reason, because it's like everybody's like, we have kids in the stands, everybody's just looking. I almost feel like Mars Attack, how all the people were, and then they came down to Earth. I feel it's going to almost be something similar to that. Like they're almost waiting for it to cross the sky or something to say, I told you so. And that's what I feel that's going to possibly be with that scene. But something traumatic will happen there, I feel. I don't know why. I just feel it.
I would love for a little more explanation as to what you were just talking about. The girl that like her face looks all messed up and all that. Is she like a horse human hybrid? Like what happened there? I need some answers. I hope that's not just limited to the one scene. It's not just like I don't think it will be, but like I hope it's not just for that one scene, like some shock value where it's like, oh my God, like what's up with that? What is she okay? What happened to her? I hope there's a little backstory where it's like almost like, oh, she got abducted by the aliens, she was experimented on, or she got like attacked, something along those lines. It looks like the aliens attack in so many different kinds of ways. Like it looks like we saw in the trailer, Keith David's character gets murdered when all this shit starts flying down from the sky. What's up with that?
Freaking missing eye, man. I'm like, man, what is going on with Keith David? His eyes missing. I actually seen some crazy stuff, man. I don't know if I was half asleep last night, but I seen like was it a UK type of trailer? I forgot. It just wasn't the trailer that was released from Universal. I think it was released from the Universal, but for like a different country. It was weird. They showed like Keke Palmer on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, like with her phone, and she's like recording this crowd, and then it shows almost, you guys, don't laugh, I'm dead serious. I know I wasn't half asleep. It was like a key in the horse's ass.
Yeah.
I don't know what I paused it, Jake. And I'm like, hold up. I know I'm not halfway asleep. It's like 4 a.m. I see a key in the horse's ass, like it's trying to open the door of the.
And just to clarify, just because we have you can't throw that concept out there and not clarify this. It was not in the horse's anus. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
We have to clarify. I feel like we have to clarify that at this point.
Listen to Jake, you guys.
If you have not seen it yet, no, it's like a horse. Like, it looks like you see like the side of it, like kind of like the cheek, the horse cheek, and then it got like impaled into that. Yeah. So, but yes, it's a really creepy. It's a creepy visual. It's really scary. There's all this metal and shit falling down from the sky. Do you think that was an attack? Do you think that was like an accident on the aliens' part? How do you feel about the aliens themselves? Do they have a good motive, bad motive? Or are they just trying to leave planet Earth?
I kind of feel like, okay, the metal and stuff. That is a great question, because that right there, when I seen it, I'm wondering like, what the hell is going on? Almost like they're just sucking stuff from the freaking earth, because obviously we see Keke Palmer get took up, and I'm like, man, they're obviously just taking shit from the earth. Then they're hovering, it's going to, with the UFOs, obviously it's going to blow down, it's going to knock shit out the way. So it kind of could go any way, but from what I'm seeing, man, they're actually like abducting people in air and all type of crazy shit. I feel, man, with that. So it is crazy, that scene where you see stuff, with the metal and all that. So, man, it's a Jordan Peele movie, man. You don't know what to expect. I swear you do not.
There's nothing certain. I like that. I like that. That's fun going into a movie though, where you're like, you really just don't know what to expect. You're like, this could be anything. This could be any kind of story. We know a little more about the plot now. It seems like we have the two main characters trying to film the UFO for whatever reason. We have Brandon Pereira's character, which I'm still struggling to pronounce that correctly. He's like he works for like a Best Buy, like a copyright free version of Best Buy, essentially selling them all these like cameras and shit. They're trying to hook it up all around the ranch. And then we have Michael Wincott's character, who's the only person to have filmed a UFO. He's a UFO like ufologist. Is that a thing? I don't know. But it's a really cool set of characters. But then the most interesting character is Stephen Yeun's character, who I feel is more mysterious than any of these characters. What do you think his role will be in Nope?
Man, like you said, it's some mystique about him. Like he's kind of creepy. I feel it's going to be something that gets let out in almost like the third act of the movie or something, if that makes sense. Because it's obviously, if you can see it in a trailer, you're going to see it in a movie. So maybe, like I said, I got a feeling, with Keke Palmer, she's saying like, she wants to get it, capture it on film and stuff. And maybe she, she reaches out to him and they get something going. And he has this freaking, how can I put this plan to get it going? He knows what he's doing, but he fucks it up. Like, he messes it up. He messes it up. And it's almost like he's the reason. Him and Keke Palmer, I can just see that. Them two will have something going behind the scenes that to the point they're the reason all this is going on. Daniel Kaluuya, he's not aware. He's just there to help, obviously. As you said, he's there with the green screen situation. He's just like, man, come on, let's hurry up. Let's get this going. I lost my dad. Come on. So, I don't know if they were in Best Buy. I don't know. It looked like a Best Buy. Keke Palmer, they're freaking walking. He's like, man, you can get captured footage. You can get captured footage of aliens and UFOs off the internet. She's like, no, I want authentic footage of, aliens and stuff. So obviously she's going to go to the max to get this. I can see her being that person to cause this, dealing with him. So that's what I think, man. It's going to be something like that.
I really like that though. That sounds like such a fun and different movie for Peele, dude. Like like it just seemed it's not what I was expecting. Like I wasn't expecting him to go down a route like this where it's like a little goofier, it's a little sillier than like some of the stuff he's done in the past, but I'm still super excited for it. Like this could be a huge positive. This could make for one of his best films ever. And I've been saying this a lot lately. I said this in my Nope video, is that with all these super serious horror movies coming out, it would be nice to have one where it's just a little more simplistic, you know, like just something where it's just a good old fashioned like Alien 70s kind of movie like that. So I'm totally down for if Jordan Peele's gone that route. I'm very excited to see what he can do with that. I mean, he's an amazing director. I love what he's already done. Anything moving forward, I mean, if his name is on it, I will see it essentially. So I'm really excited, man.
And to say something, man, because when we talk about films, like when I talk about a film, I get to thinking, I get the gears running. So that part where you see Keke Palmer, she's like in the living room and she's dancing, you see the record going around. It's almost like she had a plan, or she talked to the guy like, come on, man, we're going to get these aliens down to Earth for the footage. Obviously, she said, we have cameras. She said it in the trailer. We have these white cameras that operate and can track them or wherever, she said. So I feel like maybe they got that footage, and that was her celebration, her drinking and dancing. It's like, we got it. The music's playing, and then you see like, boom, the lights go down.
Oh,
like you see the lights go down, and she's looking like, and she tells Daniel Kaluuya like, run, and he's going on the horse. And I feel like that's what he meant by bad miracle. That night when they got their miracle, if they thought it was good, like, man, we have the aliens on, we got it on tape. Yeah, you called them down, but they weren't what you thought they were. And now you guys are finna get the consequence. I feel it's going to be something like that, man.
Do you think that could be maybe the commentary? Is that like you're trying to do this like crazy get rich quick scheme, but it's going to bite you in the ass? Maybe something along those lines. Yeah. I like that idea. I think that's pretty sick.
Yes.
I shot him 6 times. Said what's up? Sick beanie, KJ. Thank you so much. I assume renegotiations failed. I don't even know if there was any more negotiations. There was like so much talk about that, about how the film's being delayed, but they're in production. From reliable sources have said that. So I'm not 100% sure what is going on behind the scenes. Not any of us really do, unfortunately. ILS just subbed. I don't know what that is.
I like scary.
Oh, I like scary. I'm like, I don't know. There we go. Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
It would be kind of weird if I didn't know that, and I'm hosting this live stream. Just subbed, good stuff. Scream TV series was lit. Piper is underrated. She blended in so well as the killer. Oh yeah, very underrated killer. Do you like the fact that they did like season 1 and 2? It's like one big story. How do you feel about like those first 2 seasons?
Man, I actually am kind of pissed that it ended and then they just went a whole different route. They started wasn't Keke Palmer? That's crazy. But I didn't like the one with Keke Palmer, and it was just like, but with Emma and we had Noah and we had Audrey. When they had, that crowd, I feel like that was perfect. That was keep it. I don't know how you would have kept it going, but I liked it, man. I was a fan of it. I actually feel that Scream 6 should try to do something like that. I like the way it was like almost the Screams. We had killers everywhere. They even went on this little retreat. And the guy was crazy too, man. I forgot his name, man. So I feel like that is cool. I liked it, man.
It's a crazy series, and I hope there's been talks about another season is coming and all that. Like, I hope if we do get more of the show, it's like it's just as good as the first 2 seasons. Because the more I think about it, the more I talk about it with people. I've only watched it once. I gotta watch it again, man. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, that was actually really good. I'm like, okay, I actually really liked that. And I remember when I watched it, my just immediate reaction was like, oh, it was okay, it's all right. But the more I think about it, the more I talk about it, the more I think about Piper, especially, super underrated. Could not agree more with that. I loved her as a killer. I don't know. I think it's actually a pretty phenomenal show. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it again. But yeah, I loved the first 2 seasons. I pretty much agree with you. I think season 3's. It's okay.
I actually feel that Piper, though, that's the way right there. That is the way to bring a ghost face to the table. Because I was kind of and I like how they involved the boyfriend, kinda. I like that, how that was, But with Piper being Ghostface was kind of like, man, she had this weirdness to her, almost like Mindy, but it was almost like, nah, I don't think she can be the killer. But it was something about those glasses, man. I'm gonna be honest, Jake.
People with glasses, man, they're suspicious.
I'm just like,
I don't trust them.
She just had us creepy. It almost looked at like you don't supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I know it's a TV show. I get too invested sometimes. It's like you look like you do not supposed to wear glasses, and you know, like she's. I don't know. I really don't know. That's just me. That's just me, man. You guys. That's just me.
Something about those glasses, man. They're real. No, I'm just messing with you. Yeah. No, I agree. She does kind of have almost like a creepy look a little bit in some points. She says some creepy things where you're just like, I don't know, man. But yeah, you're also right about how I feel like they convince you enough where it's other people that the focus is taken enough off of her to where you're not even thinking about that character anymore. But it's all there. You're just like, oh shit. Yeah, no, it's all there. I don't know. I really like how they did the mystery in the first season. It's really well done. But yeah, with Nope though, to continue this, another thing we got is all these posters where you're looking at like these like animatics where it's like you kind of see like this really high angle and like it comes down and all the characters are looking up. Yeah. Did you notice that in Steven Yeun's like the actual like animation thing or whatever, the shot, you don't see the back of his coat? Which, did you notice in the first trailer, when you see the back of it, you can see like the alien, like there's a UFO picking up shit on it. So it makes you think that he's been doing this for a while. You know, he's been doing this weird rodeo show by sacrificing horses to the aliens for a bit. How do you feel about that?
Man, I didn't know about that, but now that you said that, Jake, man, it makes me feel more confident on what I was just telling you. I feel that Keke Palmer literally, her character reached out to him because he has a history of doing this, and he has been a firm believer of the UFO, the aliens, and stuff like that. And he's been doing those shows, and he probably failed a few times, but got lucky sometimes. But this time he's like, nope. When Keith David died, you know, Daniel Kaluuya was like, I seen it. She was like, what was it? He was like, it was big. So maybe he got word, and Keke Palmer told him like, hey, my brother seen it. So we're telling you, in that day, when we were just talking about that event, he's like, I got it. I'm telling you, it's coming. And it does come. Matter of fact, it probably doesn't even come, Jake, at that moment. It probably comes later that night when Keke Palmer's dancing. So it comes later.
Yeah.
So it's a failed event. But you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, man. See, we can go crazy with Jordan Peele. We could go crazy, man.
I know there's so much you can talk about. There's so many different angles they can take it. I would love to see almost like, because like the setup you're describing is almost like, oh, they're trying to summon it. You know, they're trying to summon it. And then like in the third act, we get like this whole battle where like the UFO's destroying the house and they're like boarding up the windows. Aliens are trying to break in and shit. I would love to see that. That would be so terrifying to watch that. 100%.
Oh, man. See, in that part where I seen it was one of the first trailers, someone, I don't know who it was, but they were obviously outside, and you could see like a fence shot of the alien walking slowly. You could see the top of their head. So maybe that was the night when Keke Palmer, you know, got the news. We got it on camera. Maybe she got a call like, we have it. We're paid. And they go outside and they hear something. We get the blood shed over the house, and it's like everything's going to shit. And we see the alien is coming, and it's like, like it's happening. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like as if you watched the trailer numerous of times. You damn near have the movie. You have the movie in your hands. You got to keep watching. But I don't want to. I'm gonna just see it once and just go in the theater, man.
Now, I have one more Nope question for you that you might not like, and feel free to veto it because, like you were just saying, it might give something else. It's something I just noticed rewatching it before we got on this live stream, which I wanted to ask you about. But we do have a super chat from Jaguar Rose. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Greatly appreciated. I wasn't really interested in watching the Scream TV show, but since you guys talked it up so much, I will check it out on Netflix. Thanks. Well, thank you.
Yes. Go for it, man.
It's good, right? I mean, like, it's totally worth the watch.
Yeah, I love it, man.
Oh yeah, I even like I would even recommend season 3. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's as good as seasons 1 and 2, but it's still worth the watch. It's worth the watch at least. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Definitely, man. I agree with Jake, man.
All right, feel free to veto this. Feel free to say no. Feel free to be like, I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. I don't want to think about any more about theories and shit because I don't want to ruin the movie. But with there's the shot in the brand new final trailer where you see a little kid that kind of represents Steven Yeun. It could be like a younger version of the character, almost like maybe in a flashback, for instance. We also get a scene from the original trailer, if you remember, where it looks like an alien hand and it's covered in blood and it's fist bumping a little hand.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go further down that rabbit hole, or do we not want to talk about that?
We go further, man. We take risks, man. We go further, man.
So my thoughts on this, and I'm thinking about making a video either tomorrow or something about it, is maybe the aliens visit him. This could be like an opening scene of the movie. Visit him when he was like younger, when he was a child, and he's established this relationship with the aliens for a bit, and it almost makes him an antagonist in the film. Like he's totally working against the humans. He's working with the aliens for whatever reason. What do you think about that? Is that do I sound like a crazy conspiracy theorist now, or
that's probably one of the best like theories, no lie, man, that like it almost just brought everything together in ways, like, because we just talked about how we felt about him be the one to communicate with them. So what you saying that, man, it's almost like we're putting a story together right here, because it's like, man, yes, I agree with you, man. That would be crazy because it all started when he was younger, and like he's the one to communicate with them. He's the one. He's the communication. He's the line to get them to Earth, and he's telling these people. Obviously, you see him dap them up or whatever. It's like, man, I'm telling you, they're real. Like he has this whole ordeal hosting events, and people like you lie. You know, humans. It's a group of humans that believe in UFOs and aliens, and some people that's like, you sound crazy. But you know, I definitely think that will make the film a lot more creepier, man. It started when this guy was young, and it led up to him when he's older. Now he's freaking fucking someone's whole family, Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya, all because you finally got what you wanted. And now the aliens are back to Earth, but this time you never know though. What if, obviously it's probably showing the aliens are cool. Maybe he dapped them up like, oh, they're cool, man. They're cool people. I'm telling you guys they're cool. So when they come down, they'll let you film them. And they come down and they just go crazy. Like we changed over the years, man.
Listen, this alien dapped me up when we were younger, man. He's cool. I promise. No, but you like honestly, yes, I feel like that could be a good reason why Steven Yeun could be like, oh yeah, dude, like yeah, no, they protected me when I was a kid. Yeah. They killed some of our horses when we were younger. Whatever, you know, who cares? Yeah. But I could totally see that being the case in this film. I think it would be a really cool little direction for them to take, to have a character who's on the side of the aliens and maybe fucks with the good guys towards the end, like fucks up their plan or something. That could really throw a monkey wrench in whatever they're trying to do. It could be cool. Yeah. I do really like it.
Crazy though, man. What you just said, that is freaking wild, man.
Now, with your background, I feel like it's only appropriate we change the subject a little bit to Halloween Ends, Mr. Michael Myers. You're the Halloween guy. I mean, look at that. Look at your background. Oh my God.
I love Michael Myers. That's my guy, man, for sure.
You excited for Ends? Excited for how it all wraps up?
Man, I'm excited for Ends as a fan and everything, but I'm scared at the same time. I'm excited, but I'm scared. Obviously, you know, I just got the news right before I joined live. One of my subscribers had showed me something. They are doing reshoots, and you know, reshoots are not bad, but the way that it was described, they're saying like it's 2 weeks worth of reshoots. And I don't know, man. It's kind of like, you know, just go in there and be positive. It's the end. If it wasn't the, you know, Halloween, if it wasn't Halloween Ends, I wouldn't be so scared. I'm kind of scared, but I'm so excited. I want to see Mike on the big screen. What Chris Nelson does with his mask, the storyline, what's about to happen with the plot. I just want to know, like, what's going to happen. This is the last film. I'm ready. Ready, man.
Now, with these reshoots, do you think they're going back and like changing stuff? Did something like maybe they got like kind of a rough draft of the film out and then someone didn't like it? Is this bad news? Is this good news? What do you think?
So to clear something up, people are saying that they had like a public screening. They actually did not go through with the public screening. They just went through with the staff and, you know, the staff screening. And I don't know what made them just do reshoots, man. I heard they're doing reshoots. One location I heard was like the neighborhood. They're doing some reshoots. Like it's in Savannah, Georgia, but it's like in the neighborhood scene. So I don't know, man. Obviously, it's something that's not giving them the full feeling of satisfaction. They don't feel too faith. They don't have too much faith in it. So it's kind of like, man, you gotta have faith in this, man. What do you guys mean? This is Halloween ends. You're playing right now. Like, there's no time for playing. You have to get this done. So
like everything they've been setting up in the past two movies, this
yeah.
is it. This is where it all ends. Everything that's been built is leading up to this. So I really hope that it's something powerful, planned out, something that they thought about back when they were writing this whole story,
Yeah.
and not something that they were just like on the fly, like, hey, let's just end it this way. That might be cool. Yeah, no, that is something I'm worried about too. I really hope that it like feels like, okay, yeah, this was set up really, really nice. We wrote a really fun little big epic story with Michael Myers, Laurie Strode, and I'm kind of impartial to how people die, or who dies specifically. I should reword that. Like, I know that's something really controversial, but like I'm kind of like, if Laurie dies, she dies. If it works with the story, cool. But is it are you going to be upset if just Laurie dies? Are you going to be upset if just Michael dies? What do you want to happen at the end of Ends?
I kind of want some closure, to be honest. So I feel the only way we can get some closure is because Jamie Lee already made it a point to say that this is her last Halloween film. So at this point, I wouldn't mind seeing Jamie walk away with her hand in the air and she has the crown or whatever you want to say. But I kind of want to see Laurie die, man. And it's like half and half. I want to see her die and just get put to rest because the character of Laurie, I still love Jamie Lee Curtis, but it's just like, I want to see Michael. You can't kill the boogeyman, so I don't ever want to see Michael Myers die. Make him undefeated. Let the villain win for once. You know what I'm saying? Let this be the villain that always wins, because I feel like a lot of villains get put down eventually. I just feel like let Michael Myers be the one. Let him be the boogeyman that remains in the darkness, and he comes out every few years with some different films and different stories. And you guys done showed us so many ways how you attempted to take him out. So what the hell are you gonna do? Like put him in a meat shredder or like what? Like I really like for real, man. Like don't go to the H2O route. We done seen that because soon as you decapitate Myers at the end of Ends, you're gonna hear everyone get out their seat and like, yup, he was the police officer. They're pulling an H2, so you can't do that. That's out the window because you tried it, but then you messed it up with trying to bring it in Resurrection. So don't go that route. So I'm excited to see how they think they're gonna kill him.
I don't think it's going to end the same way as H2O because like you said, like that would be way too like, oh, come on, we've seen that before. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like it's going to tone-wise feel much more like H2O and Resurrection, where it's almost a little more like 90s feeling because if you remember from like the first one, like 2018, that feels like a lot like the original Halloween and like Halloween 2. Then we have kills that almost feels really reminiscent of like 3, 4, and even like 5 and 6 a little bit. Where you have like you're taking elements from all those films. You have the kids with the season of the witch masks. You have the mob mentality kind of thing, which was commented on in 4, kind of repurposed for Halloween kills. Now I feel like we're moving on to the next phase of the Halloween franchise, commenting on like H2O, like Resurrection, that time period. So I feel like we're going to be grabbing things from that era and specifically using that for plot purposes in this one. I'm not sure though. That's kind of just my running theory. It's my idea.
A theory that I'm sticking with, a lot of people might not be a fan of this theory. I feel that like, the CinemaCon trailer with the final battle, that's going to be in the beginning, obviously, just to sum everything up. Laurie is going to go to the Myers house. And Allison's going to get called to the other street because the police officer are going to find out that Michael's actually alive. He killed the mob. So, of course, Allison's going to go over there because Myers is dead. But as soon as she arrives, I did the filming locations, man. They're actually close, to be honest, like that area. So, of course, you never know. Laurie, she's on different time. She just lost her daughter. She steals the car. She ends up at the Myers house. Maybe they fight. That's the final battle. And, she's kind of, she's small compared to Michael Myers. Maybe he throws her in a glass case like they stated. It's CinemaCon, and she's woozy. Obviously, she got stabbed in the stomach, so she's definitely like triple the pain. Michael walks into the darkness. I've had a lot of people say, why will Michael walk away? He does it all the time. With Hawkins, when he shot at him, he walks down the stairs. Sometimes it's like he's like, I have to get up out of here. I need a break. So he goes into the darkness, right? Boom. And she gets up. The cop. By the time Michael gets up, he's already gone. By the time Lori gets up, Michael's already gone, and the cops come over from the other street to see. Okay, where's Karen? Where's Karen? She's dead upstairs. And the cops are like, Lori, don't worry about Michael. We have some bad news. We just went upstairs. Karen is dead. Boom. 4-year time jump. Lori and Allison pack their shit and leave. That's why I feel that we saw that sign. I don't know if you remember where Lori, she's walking out of the set, and it says leave in Haddonfield city limits. I feel her and Allison decided to leave. Like going back to 2018, she tried to give Allison this money that the podcasters gave her. Allison was like, I'll just put it towards school. She's like, no, F school. But maybe Allison decides to go to school. She grows an obsession with Myers. She lost her whole family to it. And to come to the end of this theory, Lindsay reaches out to Lori like, hey, either two things. Either this girl just went missing in Haddonfield, Megan Baxter. She's on this billboard. She got killed. Not too many killings happen unless it's Myers. Or Hawkins get killed. Obviously, he's going to stay in Haddonfield because he's a cop. He has to stay on duty there. He gets killed, and Hawkins is the reason Lori and Allison pack back up and head back to Haddonfield because she's like, I lost my daughter to this. I can't let him ruin other people's lives. We're going to get this shit done. And I think the story's going to go from there.
I really like that. I love the feel of that, like the trying to get away from it all, but then like it calls you back. It brings you there. There's no matter what, it's still out there. You can't live with yourself unless you try to take it down. Like I love elements like that in stories. That would be a really cool way to start up like the essentially like the third act of this big story. I really enjoy things like that. I really enjoy when you like have to have you like, oh, I just can't live with myself. I have to go and help out my family, my friends, the people who we left behind in Haddonfield. I really like that idea. That would be something really cool to play around with. I think in this next film. But yeah, no, I think that, do you want to see, the other thing I wanted to ask about Halloween Ends was with Michael Myers specifically. We got brutal Michael. We got crazy fucking, oh my God, kills everywhere, light bulbs through the necks, breaking into people's houses, stabbing them in the face and all that. Do you want to see that again with Michael Myers in this next film? Do you want to see something else? Maybe less kills, maybe a little more like focused on the psychology, the psychological terror? What do you think?
With Halloween Ends, I want it to be, I want to see some kills, but almost like I don't want it to be slow like 78. 78 was a slow burn, it was the introduction of Halloween, but I want it to be 78. Like I want more stalking. I want more, I want to see Myers tell somebody, maybe they're walking home somewhere. But don't OD on the kills, kind of. How Michael's picking up firefighters in the air. Make this one kind of more a build up. We get Myers killing, off the sideline. He's killing people, knocking them off. But towards the end, try to get him amped up a little bit. Like, okay, this is the end. But throughout the movie, it could be something simple as maybe he stabs a few times. None of that, freaking light bulb in the neck. He's twisting it. Just a couple stabs, maybe even a choke or something. And, something simple because we already got that in Halloween Kills. And we saw Michael was capable of that. Let's get the build up. This is the end. Let's get a build up going, and then at the end he just lets loose. That's what I want.
Because that's what this is, right? This is like this is where everything's been building up to. The third act of this movie should be the most explosive thing of the whole of everything. But if you start off with explosiveness, you start off with like kills left and right, Michael Myers brutality, it's just gonna feel that ending feel a little less powerful. So I agree with you. I think if you save all of that excitement for the very ending, we make it feel like it's the most powerful third act of the entire new David Gordon Green trilogy, which would be a lot of fun. I'd love to see the stalking come back, like maybe some references to that the first movie where it's like much more of a slow burn opposed to some of the other films that are kind of just get right into the kills, like 2018 and Halloween Kills. So I would like a slower burn kind of Halloween films with ends. I think that would be a lot of fun. But so I completely forgot about the bridge scene. You like that picture that came out talking a little bit about that. Where do you think Lori will go? Like, where do you think Lori and Allison will go? Could it be the same setting as in H2O? Speaking of that,
I definitely feel it's not going to be somewhere too far. I almost said it, but it's like it's not going to be somewhere too far. Probably, still in Illinois, just somewhere kind of, you know, off the grid. But it's like I could just see them trying to adapt to a new life, and they're trying their best, and that's why Lori looks a little bit more, you know. And I feel like we saw this picture. It's Lindsay, Allison, and Lori. They're like at a bar counter, and I feel like that scene right there, wherever they was in that scene with the bar, maybe Lindsay said, meet me here, and I can tell you more about the situation and what's going on in Haddonfield. And they have a few drinks. And you know how Lori, maybe she's liquor free after these 4 years. She's getting herself back together. But, Lindsay's telling her this, like, man, he's back for sure. He killed Hawkins. Lori's like, give me a drink. The drinking has started back after 4 years. She's like, they're like, calm down. You're doing good.
Oh, man,
it's
yeah.
Like, and I feel like possibly even what if this happened also? I said either Hawkins or the Megan Baxter character brings Lori and Allison back. What if it's both? What if Hawkins died and on their way to Haddonfield, they see this billboard and it says someone, is, dead or missing, which is Megan Baxter. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping out, but I heard rumors that the kid from Cobra Kai is actually the son, or he's related to Baxter or something like that. And I feel like maybe they're going to take him under their wing. I don't know. It can be crazy. I definitely know he's involved, but I've heard rumors that he's going to be the kid, like the son of Megan Baxter. His mom is so he's going to be affected like Allison because he lost his mom to Michael. So he's a character I feel we're going to be attached to emotionally. Of course, he's from Cobra Kai. It's a reason they brought him. You know what I'm saying? So.
Oh yeah. You bring in a familiar actor like that, and then put him in an emotional role. You don't have to do as much setup because you're already familiar. You're like, oh, I like this guy from Cobra Kai. Yeah, he's awesome. So I totally see what you're saying. That could be really fun because another thing, I feel like Ends is going to be a very emotional film. Like, it's not going to be as like, okay, well, all these legacy characters died, but there's not as much of a reaction to it. I feel like less people are upset about like Marion Chambers just being brought back to get killed essentially in Halloween Kills. And there's many more people who are offended by like Dewey's death in Scream because that just, I feel like that hits more emotionally than how the kills just keep coming at you in Halloween Kills. This film, it has to be a slower movie because of that. It has to be a little slower, has to get a little more in the feels. It has to make you really upset during certain deaths. And I think it's going to be all build up to, well, somebody dying a very brutal, vicious death at the end of all of this, saving everybody else, something like that. Yeah. It's got to be something like that. I think there's been too much setup for it to not go that route. Yeah. It's going to be heartbreaking if it's Lori. I'll say that. It really will. But like I said, I feel like it works so well with the story. I'm kind of impartial to it. If it happens, it happens. I think if it works for the story, if it serves it, I'm okay with it.
Definitely. I definitely agree with you, man. I'm mentally already preparing myself to see her fall to her death and stuff like that. But I'm telling you guys, I feel that Lori's going to die before the end. I feel that, I've literally been just looking at all type of crazy stuff with this Halloween End stuff. I've seen, I know it's, people are like, that doesn't mean anything, but it's like, bro, Lori stopped filming before everybody. Maybe they just got her got her scenes out the way. I don't know. But I remember Lori was one of the first ones to be done filming. But that's just, I don't know how it works. But aside of that, I just feel in my heart that Lori will die right before the stuff kicks up in the ending. And I feel like, you guys, this will be, this is going to lead into Scream 6 also. This will be Allison's story to create her final girl look, take the legacy from her grandmother. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, Lori suffered a lot. She did. She's from 78. She's went through a lot, but she hasn't went through as much as Allison. Allison's lost her dad, her mom. It's like at this point, I actually want Allison to take out Michael. She deserves it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
she does. Yes. Yeah, no, she totally does.
Yes, I feel that it's going to be her story, and she's going to walk away on top. And she's going to be the one to be the face. Go walk away with the face of Halloween, like on her chest. And I feel like that same thing with Jenna Ortega can possibly be, in Scream 6 if they do it right. She could become not Nev, but she could become almost like a final girl type. I know she has potential from that scene in Scream 5 when she has the gun and she does a Nev Campbell type move. So she knows the pace of Scream, and she obviously is aware of Scream and how it goes because she said it in the interview on a red carpet. Like, yes, you know, she likes Scream and horror. She's a fan, so I feel like she's the one, not Kirby, not Sam. For some reason, I feel like it's Jenna Ortega, man. She's the one that's gonna put it on her back, and you know.
She's definitely got to have a bigger role in this
Yeah.
next one. I mean, she's so beloved in the horror community already, and I'm not saying Melissa Barrera is not. Like, she's definitely also going to have a bigger role, but I feel like this movie's going to focus specifically on the Carpenter sisters 50-50. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna... In the last movie, I feel like it was much more like 80-20 on like 80% on Melissa Barrera's character, maybe 20% on Jenna. It's going to be much more like 50-50. It's going to focus on their story, their relationship, how it's translating now to this new Ghostface killing, how they're going to work together or maybe not. I'm curious where it goes. That's what I want this focus, where I want the focus to be. More Jenna Ortega, of course, because like you said, she's going to put this on her back. This is like kind of, this is like her big franchise right now. She was an X. She was in the Foo Fighters movie, which was fun. But this is like her big role. So like make her the lead role. Make her the one of the final girls. Yeah, I'm totally down for that.
I definitely feel that she's going to be the one, man, for sure. And you know, to touch on the fact that a lot of people are like, you know, Skeet Ulrich is not going to be back and stuff like that. I'm actually cool with that because I feel like all you guys were going to do is eventually shoot yourself in the foot with the fact of bringing him in her, you know, in her thoughts and her brain a lot. It was cool in Scream 5 to, you know, have him in there, but I'm not, you know, upset about him not coming back. I love Billy Loomis, but he's dead, man. You can't just keep having him come in her brain with these weird ass flashbacks through the movie. And it's like, at this point, you might as well make Sam the killer. She obviously has a serial killer in her head. Go ahead, just make Sam Ghostface at this point. If you were trying to keep Billy Loomis in the, you know, but I'm not upset about that. I'm kind of happy because you're going to OD on it eventually.
Yeah, it's too much of a good thing. It's too much of like trying to bring back stuff from the past. It was kind of goofy when I saw it in Scream 5 is how I felt. It was I don't know. I mean, I didn't love it. If he doesn't come back, it's not going to break my heart. It is going to feel like it kind of breaks continuity though if she's like suddenly like over it. Like is that kind of what Maybe that's what this Billy Loomis hallucination wanted was her to just kill somebody viciously, and that's what maybe that was it. Maybe that was it in her head after she violently murdered Richie in one of the coolest kills of that entire last film. So without him there, I guess that works for me. I guess that they're kind of they're course correcting with this next movie. I hope this movie is much more. I don't want to say rooted in reality because like they explained it. It's like he's a hallucination, but it did feel a little Maureen Prescott's ghost in Scream 3. You know what I mean? It felt a little too close to that. And that was goofy when we had that back in 2000. It's still goofy today doing the same idea, you know? Yeah. So hopefully they try to copy things from, if they do copy things from the past, I hope it's not things like the goofier stuff or like the voice changer or whatever that is technology that still doesn't exist today from Scream 3. Like we don't need to bring that back. We don't. If you want to invent like new stuff for the characters to play around with, I really liked that Ghostface was utilizing more technology in Scream 5. Another underdeveloped idea for characters. Let's have that come back for this next film. Maybe the Ghostface is even more technologically advanced or something along those lines.
See, to piggyback off what you just said, that's exactly what I mean by they box themselves in a corner of Scream. They do it to themselves, man, because it's like, to be honest, it's like you said, Ghostface is working with a ton of technology in Scream 5, but if you do that in Halloween, almost like, to tell you something, man, I've heard jokes about with the extended cut, how did Michael pick up the phone and just slide the freaking arrow and breathe? Like, so you tell me he picked up a smartphone, slid it open, and just was like come on, no, I can't even see that happening. So it's almost
he probably
like
doesn't even know what that is. He probably doesn't even know what it, like he's been in jail for so long. He probably doesn't even know what a smartphone is. Yeah.
So it's like more of the interacting stuff with the electronics and all that is more of Ghostface. He has a personality. He's not mute. He's fun. I'm gonna be honest. Ghostface is fun, man. He plays with his food a lot. But from what we're hearing with Jenna Ortega, she's saying he's more intimidating, he's more aggressive. That's what makes me think that they're kind of leaning towards a Halloween Kills type film because how are you going to show us he's more intimidating, he's more aggressive? He's obviously going to have to show us he, she, or them, with Ghostface. But he's going to, I feel someone's legendary is going to die, or maybe even the new cast members they brought back, somebody are going to get, is going to get dropped off early. Maybe it's Mindy. I don't know. If that happens, man, my heart is going to hurt because it's going to tell me had this crazy theory in my head, and she just dies. It's like, man.
Do you think the opening scene someone's gone? Because like I'm kind of speculating that. I feel like they just go for the shock right from the get go. But I don't know. I mean, they can do anything with this.
Man, the opening scene that I want to see. I want to see the opening scene happen at Dewey's funeral. But now I'm starting to see that Dewey. I'm starting to feel that they're not even going to have a funeral for Dewey, because I know it's a film, but you got to have Sidney Prescott there. So you're telling me Sidney Prescott is not going to come to Dewey's funeral? So it's starting to make me believe that we're not going to have that. So that's out the window. A lot of people said Kirby was going to be the opening kill, but now that Nev's pulled out, no, I'm pretty sure she's going to make. And Jenna Ortega said, she's going to have a chance to redeem herself, and stuff like that. So it basically kind of told us that she's going to make it through the film. So, because I don't know, man. I just think this film is going to be literally different all around.
I agree with you about the Dewey thing. Like, if we're gonna have a funeral scene, we like what? Sydney's just not showing up. Like, come on. They're not gonna do that. But my thing is, I just really hope Dewey is at least mentioned in this film. It's something that maybe Gale struggles with as a character thing. Like, maybe she's like still trying to get over his death or something. It's a year later, something along those lines. I just don't want it to be like Dewey's just completely erased. Like, Dewey and Sydney, they're just not even talked about in Scream 6. I just feel like that'd be so weird to not even mention them, to not have them come up sometime as a plot point or something along those lines. Like, you have to do that. Even if they're not there. Radio Silence said like a couple of months ago, even though we don't have the legacy characters there, you're still going to feel their presence. Okay, make me feel the presence there. If you can do that without them being there, that's a tough writing situation, I would say. But hopefully they can come up with some way to incorporate all of that into this.
When I think about that, like, to touch on what you just said, man, that's what makes me, because I put myself in Radio Silence shoes, and I just, I try to think about it. I'm like, man, that's kind of scary to even play with the fact of trying to make us believe and just see their presence without them being there. So if I'm feeling scared, I know they're writers and directors, whatever, producers, man, bro, I really just feel that they're going to be scared to even play with that, because if you do that, it's over. If you do it the wrong way, people are going to walk all over that film. It's more easier to have them actually in a film and let them do it for do it themselves. But it's going to be kind of easy with Dewey, though. I feel like you can talk about the things he accomplished and what he did as the character of Dewey, and just go down memory lane. But with Sydney, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys, man. That I'm so scared for them trying to explain this issue with her not being in Scream 6, because it's like, what could you possibly say? You can't say she's out being a mother, because she obviously came back in Scream 5 with her being a mother. So you can't say that. You can't say she's sick.
I hope they don't write her off as dead, man. God, I really hope they don't do that. That would suck so much balls.
Man, I hope they don't pull a Halloween 4, man. A shoebox. I'm going to call it a shoebox scene where Jamie Lloyd opens the freaking shoebox and pull a picture out. And it's like, oh my God, man.
Don't.
Oh my God. No, don't do it. I will walk out the theater. That is sloppy writing.
Same here, man. I will be so mad at God. Just hearing that even was just like, oh God.
I'm telling you, because that's sloppy writing right there. So if you're, I feel like if you have that much balls to write off Sidney Prescott, 26 years, 25 years, man, of her being a final girl, you don't have enough respect for her for two. You didn't pay her. That's one. But to write her off and give her that type of Laurie Strode story. Laurie Strode is obviously going to get an awesome send-off. This is her last film. We've grown super close to her again. And I feel like, man, she's going to get the perfect send-off. Why can't you do that for Sidney Prescott? Why did you guys have to F it up? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are you guys going to do? And the way you know, that she said it, man, when she told, she feel like it wasn't like equal, and she's like with her career, and she feel like she basically got lowballed. I just feel that the way she was saying it was almost like, man, I might not come back. I might just focus on other things, and that's scary. Because what about our closure? You know what I'm saying? As a fan,
Yeah.
what about our closure? We're gonna just be missing that. So
I would want one more scene with Sydney at least. Like, even if it was just like a cameo, just something to give me some closure with the character if she's really done playing it. Maybe that could happen in a possible 7. I know that's not confirmed, but you know, here's hoping that 6 is good enough to establish a 7. I would love for 3 films from Radio Silence. That would be like a perfect situation for me. But what do you think about, from Jaguar Rose with the $5 super chat? Thank you so much. What do you prefer, this movie to start up months or years later, or pick up right after the events of the last one?
I would kind of like it to just pick up, to be honest, like to keep our anxiety high. You have to do that. I'm gonna be honest. You damn near have to do that, because you can't even play with the time jump option at this point. You have to pick it up while you got a little bit of us going right now. We were running. We know what happened. You know, Amber and Richie. You got to keep it going, man. Because at this point, if you do that jump, you're almost going to leave Dewey in the dust, and kind of it's going to lead up to more sloppy writing, Jake, because it's like, man, Gail, you got to show a scene with Gail. I mean, you can show her just going down memory lane with Dewey, like, man, just regretting a lot of things, just them being separate. But it's kind of sloppy writing, man. Dewey's not just anybody, man. You have to give him a good send-off also, in a way, like a little something after the death. You have to give him almost his own little scene, man. But to say something while I'm thinking about it, I think it would be cool to bring Sidney Prescott back in a way how they did Laurie Strode. I'm not going to say Neve Campbell or Sidney Prescott is going to be like Sarah Connor or no shit like that. Maybe she's more a mom type. She lives like out by the lake, and she actually reads books and stuff. Maybe she has a shit ton of Scream like books, or Stab, like just the story. She just want to look through stuff, read newspapers, you name it. Like, she's just more of a mom. She chills out. Obviously, she jogs. She's jogging on a freaking Riverwalk. Maybe she's just out there somewhere far, and maybe Gail dies in Scream 6, and you know she loves Gail also, and she gets the news, and we don't even get the killer at the end of Scream 6. We don't get the killer. We just get the ending from Scream 6 being the scene of them notifying Sydney Gail is dead. And that's what gets us hyped for Scream 7. She gets that call, and it's like, I'll be there. Like, you know, damn. Like, I just feel like that'd be crazy.
I feel like the missed opportunity with these new Halloween movies, something that with kills, that it kind of falls into the same trap as Halloween 2, which kind of did this whole idea years ago. And the problem I have with Halloween 2, which is just it's a small thing. It's nothing super crazy. Yeah. But when you have characters get hurt like this, we have a lot, like right now where we left off in Scream 5, there are multiple characters who have been like stabbed, who have, or like Chad is almost nearly dead by the end of this, but he's still kicking. He gave the thumbs up. If we were to start a film like right there, like right where Scream 5 ended, we'd have characters in the hospital the whole time again that we'd have to develop, and we'd have to keep going back to the hospital again. We've had enough hospital scenes in the past 2 big horror movies with kills and the last Scream film. So I do like the idea of it picking up right after, but maybe not like the same day, like maybe a couple, like just a month or 2 later, if they want to do that route, where it's like, okay, hey, we're back up to good health, whatever, you know. Everyone's ready to fight again, essentially, so we don't have the hospital scenes that feel unnecessary or whatever. And then we can also have something like this happen, where it's like it's Sidney Prescott and she's out. She's not like, it's similar to what happened with Laurie Strode, but not the same. You know what I mean? Like she's recluse. She maybe lives somewhere nice with her husband and kids and all that, but she's not like terrified looking out for ghost faces. She's come to have a nice life and a wonderful family, and it's a good ending. It's a positive ending. I feel like Laurie Strode and Sidney Prescott deserve different endings for how their respective franchises feel tone-wise. I feel like it makes more sense to give Sidney Prescott a more positive ending, where with Laurie Strode, I almost kind of want it to be a little bittersweet. So yeah, I feel that. I think that's kind of the route that I would want. We still don't really have any confirmation about when this thing will take place, though, which I think is interesting. Do you think they're going to college? Another thing I wanted to ask.
I've heard they're going to go to college in like New York and stuff like that. But if it's not college, I can't wait to see where it's going to be. But if it was college, to touch on that, man, back to Nev actually. She did little scene. She picks up the phone. Sidney Prescott, of course, I have a gun. So I actually erased that. Maybe she's out and I don't know. She sees it on TV or something, and it just she sees it on TV. And it's not even that much of a impactful scene. She just gets the info that, Gail's there. She goes back. But back to what you were saying, if it's in college, man, almost seems like I can see them taking an easy way out. Obviously, Chad has that image. He's like a sports type of guy. I can see them being, just being safe and killing him off in the opening scene, like maybe in a gym type of scene, him doing workouts in his ghost face. And then it's going to kind of start sending question marks over a lot of people's head, like maybe it's a student or something. Like, I don't know, man. It can go that route. That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by just Scream in modern day, just being able to elevate and just stretch. That simple. Making Chad the opening kill, and it's like, man, he died in like a weight room or something. It's like, bro, it's somebody on campus the whole time. It's not even someone on campus. It's just, I don't know, man.
Just I do like the idea of killing, like they kill Chad off early because he's like really in shape, he's like maybe he got like a really good it would be it'll almost be kind of silly for him to like where it's like, oh, he got this big scholarship to this really nice school and it's all great, he's working out at real late by himself and then suddenly he gets killed. There's a bit of dark humor there, you know what I mean, where it's almost like, oh, he had all this potential and then okay, he got killed, which is kind of sad and horrible for the character, but it's a horror movie at the end of the day, right? We can play around with a little dark humor. I think I would think that would be a really cool opening scene. I feel just to do something different, to have a dude as the opening scene. I'm okay with that, and it also gives a reason for every character to get back involved. Like for Gail, for maybe Kirby somehow is a part of this now. That's the thing I'm really interested in with this new film, how they're going to write in Kirby, because this is something that can go one way or the other, really bad, really good, depending on how you write it. Because I don't want them to just throw in Kirby to be like, hey, I'm Kirby Reed. What's up, Scream 4? Remember that? Everyone loves that movie. I just don't want them to throw her in that way. I love Kirby. She's awesome. But let's hope they throw her in for some kind of... They can use her for the plot. What do you think about that?
I feel, to be safe, man, two things. First, I think it would be cool to take place in college because it'll kind of make it more tight and understandable and clean up a lot of the issues that's happening with Scream. Maybe make, Kirby like a professor or just some type of mentor on the college grounds. But back to, I just had to get this out. Back to Chad. Maybe it's like he's doing a night workout. He gets a call from Ghostface. He's like, stop playing with me. Everybody knows Chad is like this superstar from the news because he survived us, and they're like, he's like, man, stop playing with me. I'm getting these bullshit calls, and maybe all the football players have been joking around with him, like, I'm Ghostface, and he's like, but he really gets this call for the opening kill. He's like, man, stop playing around, man. And he's lifting weights, right? I have to say this, and Ghostface just pops out like almost a shot, like it's like we're in the POV of him.
And he's like on the bench. Yeah.
Yes. And Ghostface picks up the weights and just drop it. Like, I would be like, God, that's what and he just runs out. I was like, oh yeah, this is that scene right there would be like, yeah, this is gonna be good. I feel like it's gonna be good.
You know that scene in Halloween 2018 where you see the dude's neck and it's like snapped a certain way and you can see that's what I want to see, but with Chad with the thing coming down like this way and it's just like his neck just goes all the way back. Oh, that would be so upsetting. That'd be so gross.
Oh my God. And then it will just all fall together, Jake. And then it leads into the next morning. All the football players are coming in. They're like, oh my God, he's dead. And then we're getting posters on trees. It started back up. and then Kirby, it leads up to like almost like a shot like at a desk or something, and it's Kirby, and she's in it again. It all comes together, cleans up everything. Tara's in school, Sam, we're all it's cleaning up, and it's like, here it is. We have our film. Let's go. And you can kind of cheat your way through it by Kirby mentioning Sydney and, you know, stuff like that. And it will kind of work, man. I feel, it's just like, it can work. You got to just be smart about it.
Yeah, 100%. You just have to be smart. You have to be smart about how you're going to bring in all these characters, how they're going to work together, how you're going to explain Sydney, how you're going to explain Kirby. I mean, you just can't throw them into the story like how some other requels have done in the past. I'm not going to name names, but I just feel like sometimes we throw characters in there because it's like, hey, it'll bring people, it'll sell tickets if this character's here. Now you don't have that with Scream. You don't have your big money maker coming into this film. It's the first time in the whole franchise. You got to give me something. You got to give me a good story. You got to like, I'm predicting that if Scream 6 is good, the first week they're going to do all right at the box office. Like first weekend, okay, decent. But then the word gets out. It's like, oh, Scream 6 is actually really good. Like, oh, this is banging. Second week, it does a little better. Third week, it does the best, which would be crazy. It's kind of like it's the Titanic story all over again, but with Scream, which is like a really weird thing to compare it to. But I think that would be cool. I think that would be cool for them to go that route to really give us a surprisingly good sequel story that I'm really hoping that this one has, because Radio Silence has an opportunity to do their own thing with this film. They don't have to necessarily copy Wes Craven's style, because copying anybody's style, I feel like you're just not going to get it as good as to where they would if they were still around. So I hope Radio Silence does their own thing, makes their own Scream movie, and then it'll result in something we've never seen before. Radio Silence can make a good film. If you've only seen Scream 2022 of their catalog, I highly recommend just watching anything and everything else they put out. I really think they've made some amazing horror flicks, and I'm very excited to see them write an original horror story within Scream, and not something that just feels parallel to the original Scream film with Scream 5. I still like Scream 2022. I'm not trying to diss it, but I do feel like it's really parallel to that original film. So what's their story that they can write in this universe without trying to copy something from the past?
Just use your tools for real. You have Jenna Ortega, Sam, Mandy. You got more of the generation is different, I feel. So just use what you have, to be honest, because if you try to, like you say, if you play copycat with Wes Craven, the way Wes Craven films, you can tell it's a Wes Craven film. Like, you only almost do what David Gordon Green is doing. Just take what you have and be smart about it, and use them the right way. You have some talented actors, man. You already have people that are invested in these cast members. I know I am. Like Jenna Ortega, Sam, I'm almost invested highly in everybody, to be honest. Except, I'm not a fan of Chad, almost, kind of. But it's just like, I don't know, man. They have the tools. They just have to be, like I said, be smart about it and do their own thing, man. And get out that corner. Don't box yourself in with this one. This is the film that matters. Just want to make or break you. I actually seen a comment. It was Valerie. She said basically that she don't think that flow can work with the college, and I kind of see what she means by that. Because their film, I think you're shooting in Montreal, Canada, also, so everything's not going to take place on college grounds, if it even is college. But I feel that I'm
trying to find that comment, and I'm not finding it.
He said, they shoot scenes out of the scene.
Oh, here we go. So, yeah.
I definitely see, it's kind of like people want to see different from college, because I feel Scream always has to deal with school. It does. It really does always have to have his hand in some type of school setting. So I definitely agree with you, Valerie. But like I said, that's what Scream did to themselves, though. They did it to themselves. So if you try to make like the Scream franchise or this film like a neighborhood type of movie, Halloween can do that. Haddonfield, trick-or-treaters. Scream is more like, come on, man, you kind of have to involve some type of school. And I'm not going to lie, Valerie, I just feel like that's the route they're going to have to take, because we already have students involved as the main cast members. You have to show school some way. They're not on summer break. You got to show like Tara. You got to show Sam. Obviously, Chad's going to have a scene, getting some type of recovery going, because he's obviously like this big, bold, like I'm steroids type of guy. So it's like it's going to happen. I don't know. I just know school's going to be involved, and I can see them shooting in some type of neighborhood, but I just feel like Scream. That's just the film and in general. Wes Craven made it that way for a reason. I just feel like Ghostface. That's his setting. That's what he does. He deals with people that's in school. Like that's the face of Scream school. Like I feel.
So do you think it's going to be, because I almost speculated because they're filming in the summer that it might be like they've been past their first year of college already or something, and it's like summer break and they're still living in their dorms, and maybe it's almost kind of like there's a movie, I think it's called like The Black Coat's Daughter, maybe, where it's like it's people during like winter break or something who stay behind. That's probably not the movie I'm thinking of, but it's like they stay behind for winter break. There's only a couple people left, then a killer emerges and starts killing everybody. They can't get help because they're like in a really remote area or something. Could it be something along those lines, maybe, where it's like, oh, it's summer break and we're still hanging out in New York City or Montreal, Canada, or whatever the fuck this takes place, and then a killer rises to the occasion when there's not as many people around, not as much staff, something like that, maybe.
First off, Valerie, I apologize. She actually said she was talking about the reshoots for Halloween. So, but at least you know, it could go both ways. No school. So. But to touch on what you said, Jake, I think that would be cool also. You know, it will definitely have, I feel, Gail more involved if it's like, you know, in New York, maybe around summer break, you know, enjoying it. But it's kind of like I said, man, it's almost like I'm brainwashed when it comes to Scream. It's like I always have to expect certain scenes when I see this for some reason. Like, that's why I said, man, it's like I'm always used to seeing a school involved, or not any big skyscraper buildings, or it's almost like a small, like little bubble they're in, man. Like, you know, you probably see a frat house or someone walking down a store looking at these little shops, or, you know, you'll get some type. It's Scream, man. I just feel like it can happen though. You know, you're enjoying New York and it happens. But that's that risk. That's the risk. I'll tell you that. That's the risk that Radio Silence can take and give it that new feel and make him show that he can be different and just expand. So I definitely think that can happen, but will they do it? Man, I think Radio Silence is the type of guys, they play it safe, but they do it their way, but they definitely stick to Wes's way and try to literally damn near mock his way, but do their own little thing. I just think they play it safe, man.
I hope they, with everything going on, I hope they don't play it. I mean, I think for a lot of things, they played it really safe with the last movie. With this one, I really hope they take it like the risk it all approach. I hope they take that really seriously with Scream 6. I want to see them take some risks. Jason Dyer with another $5 super chat, though. Thank you so much. Always promoting the merch store. That is a really hard thing to say for some reason. But my mama always said life was like the KillJoy Jake merch store. You never know what you're gonna get.
Man.
Well, I can tell you this. You pretty much know what you're going to get from the merch store. We have 3 shirts at this moment. We might be having an exclusive little drop sometime soon, though. So something you might only be able to get for a week. Coming sometime soon. I won't say, though, of course. Do you think they will make Tango and Cash 2? Well, I don't even know what the hell that is, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I never heard of that also, man.
I'm looking it up. Fuck it. Tango and Cash. Is this like this looks like an action comedy movie. Yeah. Kurt Russell, Sylvester Stallone. I have never even heard of this before. I'm going to be totally honest with you.
Man.
I like it though. I like it.
Yeah.
Jason, thank you for the super chat, man. We appreciate it. Yeah. But yes, with Scream 6 though, I agree with you, man. I want him to do something different. I also really, as much as I want him to do something different, so one of the cool things that they kind of left behind with Scream 5 was chase sequences. Yeah. Something we didn't really get too many of. I guess in the script, during that scene in the hospital when Amber Ghostface is coming after like Richie's on the ground in the background and Jenna Ortega's crawling away, it was described as it's the slowest chase scene in Scream history or something like that. I want to see some faster chase scenes. That builds the tension a little more. Yeah. Who do you want to see get chased by Ghostface in this next movie?
Mindy.
Ooh.
But it's like, it's kind of because she's like Brandon, I thought you said she was the killer, but if she wasn't, Mindy, because she knows the horror rules, right? Let's see how smart you are. Let's see how smart you are. Like, but yeah, man, definitely Mandy. Another thing I want to throw in there, I think the college thing will work, man. People, you know, they're filming in Montreal, Canada. I've never been there. Heard it's awesome, but you know, I can see them filming in some frat houses and just having some of that type of vibe going, and like
a party going on earlier than the third act or something. Yeah, I like that. Yeah,
a couple scenes. Some people are walking home back to the school, and we get Ghostface chasing them, stabbing them in the street. Like, that's that Ghostface I want. That Scream 2 type of, like, I don't know, man. Right there, that's what I want, man. I want it to be, and I know they're capable of doing that. So I feel that if I were, you know, doing this movie, if I had the, you know, the rights to do this, I will do it that way, and that would be my way of playing it safe and cleaning up this whole mess with Nev and Dewey. It will always make us feel like we kind of don't even we miss Sydney, but it's almost like by the time we're done with all this craziness and anxiety, we will be like, that was a good Scream film because it had its own feel from the jump, you know.
Yeah.
So
I definitely feel like this is the best route they can go, is to make this thing its own animal, because like you said, people are going to recognize that, and if it's good, it's something you'll only be able to get from one of the Scream films, which as of right now, like, you can't say that too much. Like, I guess Scream 3 definitely dives into a different kind of tone and does its own thing. And a lot of people don't like that film, but there's also this group of people where it's their absolute favorite because of the little changes it makes. That's it's out there. So Scream 6 in a lot of ways could be like Scream 3, where it goes a different route with the tone, with the jokes and the humor and all that. It kind of doesn't care so much about like the realism in the plot. It cares more about like the Scooby-Doo style mystery element much more. So I'm curious to see what they enhance with Scream 6. Which element of Scream are you going to put a microscope under and focus your whole movie on? Is it going to be the horror commentary, a more brutal killer? What is it? What are you going to do to make it different, to make it your own thing with Scream 6? I'm very excited to see what Radio Silence like has put that magnifying glass over.
Definitely. I definitely like what Jenna Ortega said, though. A more aggressive, you know, intimidating Scream, as you saying, he literally stumped the ankle. Like, I'm like, oh like the moment I seen that in the trailer, I'm like, man, what the I just really feel that make him scarier. You know, he kind of is a character in certain ways. I want it to be to the point that I'm in the theater and almost, it might sound crazy, but I would like to see some low-key stalking from Ghostface. Like, maybe catch him in a back window while somebody's on the phone and he goes to the side. You just see him run real fast. Like, that type of stalking, almost to the point you have people in there like, oh my, he was literally right there. And he just popped. Like, you can, man, I swear, it's in their hands, man, Jake, man. They can really just, I feel like they can do it, man. If I can think about this, I do not write movies or none of that, so man, I know these guys have to have something up their sleeves, man. Like,
I hope they have something where it's just like when we're watching it, you're like, I've never seen this before in the entire franchise. That's crazy. And like you were talking about, I really like this frat party setting idea, which is something which I feel like the second movie doesn't expand on enough, like the college life and all that. There's like a musical number and all this, but then you forget about like, well, what about like going to a frat party for the first time? Going to, like, there's so many different college elements that you can still play off of that Scream 2 never even touched. Something like that I think would be really cool. To start the movie with a party would actually be sick too. Like, maybe the opening scene is at a frat party and it's just like, it's Chad and he's hanging out with his buddies and he goes to the basement to get a beer, you know, something like I'm just little things like that. Just give me a change up of the formula, and an immediate way to do that is by starting at a party scene opposed to having that be like the third act. Like, I think that could be really cool, almost doing like a reversal of the typical format. That would be really fun, I think. Just something like that. Play off of more college stuff. Don't do the exact same thing as Scream 2, because that's another thing I'm worried about with the college setting. I agree with you. I totally think the Scream at a college can totally work and not be anything like Scream 2, but you gotta make a point of that. You gotta do things that are so different from that storyline. You can't do you can't have someone's relative be a killer. You can't, like, maybe don't bring in Altieri's. Like, it's something I've been worried about. Like, oh, there's this character that's like, it's Mickey's Mickey's son that was illegitimate or so. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need that. We need a departure from Scream 2, especially with Scream 6. Otherwise, it's just gonna feel like modernized Scream 2, and I don't want to see that. I want to see Scream 6. I want to see what is the next chapter here. How can they make that different?
Man, to talk about that, what you're saying, man. How look, I'm literally listening to you, Jake, and you're just like, man, what if they, kill at the party? That's how you know Chad, he should be the one, man. I feel to play it safe, it's inevitable, man. He should be the opening kill. It only makes sense because we just came up with this great idea about him getting the bench press kill going, and now you're talking about the party. It's like, man, if we're thinking about this, Jake, I'm like, bro, they have to be like, man, it's like you said, okay, they get killed in the party. What if someone's, outside in the car, maybe Ghostface in the back seat, jumps out, boom, and you just hear horn outside. Maybe he's laying on a horn dead. I don't know. You can go so many routes. Like I said, it can be to the point, maybe Chad has him a little chick. Maybe he has him a little chick. He's about to walk back to the dorm with her. And she's like, so what about that story I heard you and Mindy went through? He's like, yeah, it was crazy. I got stabbed up a few times, and out of nowhere, someone just jumps out the bushes and just,
he hypes it up a little bit too. He says like, "Oh, I totally took him down," that's what happened.
Yeah, I can see him doing that, man. Or, maybe the girl gets the call and it's like she's the messenger for Chad, and she's like, "It's for you," or someone's messing with me. And
ooh,
like, yeah, bull crap. I've been getting calls. She's like, no, they're saying that they're behind us and stuff. And maybe she just leaves him, and maybe later that night, Chad ended up going home by himself, and he dies. And the girl's like, I was the last one with him, like.
And then she's a red herring. She's that immediately makes her suspicious. Why were you not there? What was going on? There's so much you can do to play around with that. This party also could be filled with like random characters that could come back later. Like they're now suspects that we get introduced to later on that maybe just have little tiny character moments in this opening scene, and it establishes the mystery. It's somebody at this party. We have to figure it out. So that's how you get your group this time, as opposed to just having like a friend group that it could be. Dude, that's awesome. That's really, I don't know, that's really, if I'm watching that movie, I'm like, oh fuck, like I'm throwing popcorn at my face.
It's like it works perfectly. You can go so crazy. Like maybe you have like a safety group on the college campus. They're breaking down the stab issues and stuff, and you have these little groups. Maybe they even have like a class going, and they're talking about, they have a class going, and Kirby, she's the professor or whatever. They're talking about the Scream issue, and Kirby kind of doesn't want to talk about it. She just want to be free from it and just teach the class. And she's like, okay, Ghostface, they're just talking about it. It's like, we know that you were in an issue with Ghostface in the past, so talk about it and help us. Like, so it's like now this whole school's involved. There are people who are just like, man, they're saying Ghostface is back. We have posters up, and it's just like, man, people are going to parties. People are doing all type of stuff, having, like homework get-togethers. You can go absolutely crazy with if they take, the words out of our mouth and just run with it. That's the only thing. So.
Yeah, I hope it's something like that, because wow, like that's such a cooler way to set up like it's not, I'm not saying it's a better way. I'm just saying it's a different way, because like I want to see something that's not just like it's a group of friends and someone gets killed. Oh my God, like our friend died. I want something else. I want something fresh, something brand new. And if we can just spitball that together on a live stream, what did they come up after like actually writing something down? Like, oh, it's probably something even cooler than that. So I would love to see something where it's just like, I've never seen this before. I don't know where the fuck this is going. It's not going to be predictable, because you're like, I haven't seen this story yet in the Scream franchise. What could they do with it to make it different, but still feel like a Scream film, still get that tone right? I'm really, really excited to see what they do with it. I hope it's their own thing too. I think that's the biggest thing to take away from this. But my dude, I'm probably going to be wrapping up here.
Definitely.
Do you want to plug? You want to do any shameless plugs that real quick? That anything you want to promote?
Man, you guys, definitely come over to the channel, man, and subscribe. I have an awesome channel. Jake is awesome though, man. He is incredible. But definitely, I do unboxings and stuff. I cover stuff. I speculate. theories, but it would be super cool to have some of you guys come over to I Like Scary. But plug wise, man, nothing much. You know, I just go along with everything that comes out, speculate and stuff like that. Actually, I do have a plug. I actually went to Chicago, man. I'm a big Stranger Things fan, so I
Oh
went
yeah.
out there to the pop up. And while I was out there, I decided to do the Chucky film location. So if you guys are
Ooh.
if you guys are into like film locations, I knocked out the Child's Play film locations. I will be releasing them this week. So if you guys are into Chucky and stuff like that, we'll be up on the channel up in a few days. So definitely you guys have to check that out, man.
I absolutely love your filming location videos, man. They're great. Yeah, no, definitely make sure to check that out. Go subscribe to I Like Scary. Great content, my dude. I really love what the videos you put out, man.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Same to you, man. Your channel was awesome, and it was an honor coming on here. So you know what's next. I have to get you on the channel also soon. So I'm gonna plan something with you also again because it was super cool, man. Like as you seen, the brainstorming on this was like, bro, is somebody writing this down? Because it's like we were just going crazy. So.
It's awesome. Like I love it. I love going back and forth with people, and I really enjoy talking with you, man. We always have a good conversation. It's great. It's always good stuff. Well, thank you guys. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Thanks for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. Please like this video, subscribe, do all that crap. You know, you hear it from me all the time. I'm not gonna go over it again. But thank you guys again for stopping by, hanging out with us. Don't forget to kill it out there, everybody.